that nothing and nobody should instill fear in you in doing your work as members of parliament. Because you are duly elected by the people of Kenya to exercise oversight even over the executive, even the office of the president, and even the president himself. That is why this House has powers under this constitution to impeach those in the executive, and those in the executive can do nothing to remove you from this House. Absolutely nothing. Because that is how we crafted our constitution, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I have listened to many of the contributions, and let me take particular interest to what the Honorable Otiende Omolo said. That we have a Powers and Privileges Committee in this House, Honorable Speaker, which fortunately is chaired by none other than yourself. This Powers and Privileges Committee has the powers and a singular mandate to receive complaints, as Honorable Otiende Omolo said, from whatever quarter against any member of parliament who may engage in any manner of impropriety, whether within the precincts of parliament or outside parliament, Honorable Speaker. It is not fair to condemn the House in its entirety, Honorable Speaker. We have young members like Honorable Njeri, Honorable Joseph, who just joined this House the other day, Honorable Speaker. We have older members like the Honorable Kainan, the father of the House, who has been here for a long time, and yourself, Honorable Speaker. When this House is condemned, you are condemned. The Honorable Kainan is being condemned. The Honorable Njeri and Joseph here are being condemned. Honorable Speaker, if there are people who have suffered, I am among those people who have suffered immensely from this condemnation. I was a sponsor of that bill the Honorable Murugara was speaking about as leader of the majority. I saw yesterday when figures of 150 million shillings were mentioned that relate to the Senate. There are people who went on social media to say, oh, that is the 150 million Kimani Ichungwa used to purchase I don't know what where, Honorable Speaker. No, this time they didn't mention a chopper, they were mentioning shares I invested in a bank. But I have invested an investment I have made, Honorable Speaker, from money I have borrowed from our own parliamentary circle and my other circle in Muhasibu. Fortunately, Honorable Speaker, when they banded those stories, thinking they are maligning me, the share price of NHIF has risen by 2 shillings. And therefore, that investment, by the very essence of their maligning stories, has gone up. And today I can liquidate them, pay off my loan, and walk home with a clean, tidy amount, tidy sum. But you cannot vilify me for that. Nobody should vilify any member of parliament because they are members of parliament, Honorable Speaker. When we vilify one person in this House unfairly, we are vilifying the institution of parliament. And we must protect and defend as strongly as we can the integrity, not of even ourselves as individuals, but of the institution of parliament. Because this institution is there to oversight. And we cannot have... Honorable Speaker, I was saying we cannot have meaningful oversight over the executive if we are seen to be beyond reproach, Honorable Speaker. Let us use our Powers and Privileges Committee to ensure, Honorable Speaker, if by any chance there is any one of us, and I say any one of us, Honorable Speaker, including myself, who, Honorable Speaker, as a Swahili would say, aliye na tuhuma yoyote, let them be before the Powers and Privileges Committee and also before the investigative agencies like EACC, so that they may take action so that we protect the institution of parliament, Honorable Speaker. 2, Honorable Speaker, on the question of what is provided for in Article 94 to 96 of our Constitution, and I don't want to repeat what has been said about the powers of the House, in our sister House in the Senate, to oversight national revenue that is going to the counties. I think it is a matter, and I said it yesterday, Honorable Speaker, in that meeting, that it is a matter that is explicitly provided for in the Constitution. We cannot amend this Constitution by vilifying the institutions of parliament, whether it is the National Assembly or the Senate. Let us just purpose to live by the tenets of this Constitution. Honorable Speaker, NGCDF. Again, NGCDF is vilified and attacked in this fashionable thing to attack members of parliament. NGCDF does not belong to members of parliament. The Kikuyu NGCDF does not belong to Kimani Ichungwa. Neither does the Elders NGCDF belong to the Honorable Kainan Mohammed. Aden Kainan. Honorable Speaker, NGCDF belongs to the people of Kenya, to the constituents who have elected us to come and represent them here. We oversight NGCDF just like any other fund in government. Honorable Speaker, when the to their sittings, they called my fund manager and the board officials here, the board CEO, NGCDF board CEO. Therefore, Honorable Speaker, we must also protect NGCDF, not for our own sake, not because we have anything to do with NGCDF, because it has everything to do with delivery of public goods and services to the people who have elected us to represent them, Honorable Speaker. And let me just conclude by saying, Honorable Speaker, we would have no business being the people's representatives if we have nothing that we can oversight those that have been charged by the people of Kenya to hold public funds in their trust. Then we have no business being members of parliament if we can't oversight. We will have no business being members of parliament if you will be able to go to your constituency. You find at a time like now when it is cold and rainy, a school latrine has sunk or a roof has been blown away, and you cannot influence anything, Honorable Speaker, with the NGCDF committees to ensure that you make good the lives of the people who have elected you. We must protect NGCDF with our blood and our souls, Honorable Speaker, in this House. We must. And we must tell everybody, Honorable Speaker, even those who are in the county governments, Honorable Speaker, and we have said it numerously, we are not in competition with the county governments. NGCDF, as Chepkonga has said, the new NGCDF Act of 2015 makes it very clear what role NGCDF plays in education, in security, Honorable Speaker. We amended the Act here the other day, Honorable Speaker, to even remove the contentious issues that were there before, like sports, and we removed them, Honorable Speaker, because we want to live and abide by what is provided for in this Constitution. Therefore, Honorable Speaker, let me say, we must, as a House, stand together, stand strong, and walk with our heads high, Honorable Speaker, if you have nothing to be suspicious of anything you do. Finally, Honorable Speaker, let me ask ourselves, the things we say, the things we do out there also portray something of us. The things that were said here of the finance bill last year, Honorable Speaker, that members were being paid to vote this and that, Honorable Speaker, those are the things that lower the dignity, and we keep saying, lower the dignity of this House and entertain even those who are vilifying and entertaining things being said against us, Honorable Speaker. I beg, Honorable Speaker, to end there, and thank you.
Honorable members, let me thank you as a House, particularly the Honorable Murugara and Honorable Wandeto, for having found it within their powers and necessary to bring the statement and the motion which I didn't approve, but which I informed the House and allowed Honorable Wandeto to have the first bite. Honorable members, as your Speaker, I shall always be your first and last line of defense to your integrity and to the dignity of this House. I want to encourage us, in the words of the Honorable Minority Leader, as leaders, we cannot insulate ourselves from criticism, both fair and unfair, because that's the cost of leadership. When you are in leadership, you fall under the category of what one writer says, that when you meet people, 30% will like you without even hearing anything from you or knowing who you are. 30% will hate you without knowing who you are or hearing anything from you. It is now up to you to convince the remaining 40% to like you or to hate you. That is the paradox of life. And I want to encourage us as a house of leadership to be above irritations, to be above any temptations to have a short fuse on issues, because you are leaders. And when you are a leader, you cannot sit there and expect to hear only things that please you. You'll also hear things that don't please you. And sometimes when we hear things that don't please us, they raise us to a higher calling to ensure that things are done differently. I also advise that when something is said against you, if it is not true, you ignore it. If it is true, you do something about it. Then we move on. There was a very high state of anxiety and anger. Many members called your speaker, expressing displeasure, expressing anger, and wondering what direction we are headed. But that we have had an opportunity to speak. And to those who haven't spoken, I'm sorry, the time was not enough. We can't all speak on the same subject. And to members like the Honorable Salasia, when we have a motion like this, the Speaker gives priority to members who are regularly here. If you are not regularly in the House, you are unlikely to get the favor of the Speaker to speak simply because this is topical. There are members who sit here for hours waiting to speak. Sometimes they don't even get the opportunity to speak. Those are my priority. If Dr. Nyikal was in the country, I know he's out in Japan. He's like the new Martin Shikuku. The Speaker always found Martin Shikuku in the House and left him in the House. And for the entire afternoon, you'll never see Martin Shikuku even responding to a call of nature. He'll just be sitting there doing the business. So I encourage you, young Salasia, spend more time here. You'll catch the Speaker's eye when
the Honorable Murugara must be finding himself in a very difficult situation. Because I'm a chair of a committee, I know how difficult it is for the committee report to be amended. We do these reports with Secretariat. We have to do the right thing. We would like to know who this is. Honorable Speaker, the report was given from raw information, intelligence. So the person who was given the money is known. And the reasons why the person was given the money is also known. Honorable Speaker, as members of Parliament, we need to be cleansed from this. We have suffered a lot as parliamentarians. There has been so much that we have supported the executive, and this is what we can get in return. Honorable Speaker, since they are known, for us to be cleansed, they need to be named. Yes. The reasons why the money was given also needs to be brought to this House so that members of Parliament can be cleansed. Out there, we have a very bad name for supporting the executive. But we are supporting the executive because we would like the plan to go through. We would like the government to succeed. But, Honorable Speaker, if there is a problem in this House concerning members, I think it should be brought to the fore so that members can know. Honorable Speaker, since last week, when the pronouncement was made in the devolution conference, we have suffered once more. We suffered after passing the finance bill. We suffered after the broadening of the government. We suffered again after sacking of some members of the CSs, some executive. We've suffered many times. And this is what you are getting in return. It is unfair. Thank you, Honourable Speaker.
Karoli Omondi.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. I'll try and be very brief, but let me start by saying I take great exception as the statements made by His Excellency the President, now 3 times, attacking the character of everyone in this House, including yourself. We must now take the position of NATO. Mass character assassination we shall not accept. If somebody is guilty, let them be charged on their own. But an attack such as the one that was, he's made it twice, 3 times. First at the stock exchange,